Hi everyone, thanks again for joining us for this month's Cook the Book. I'm Tina and this is Valerie, and we are celebrating all things Irish. It's March, we've got our green out, we've got our St. Patrick's Day decorations out, and we looked at our shelves and tried to find some books that were green on their covers. We found quite a few, including an audiobook and a great veggie book, but surprisingly there are not that many green covers. So I don't know what that's all about, but Valerie's going to tell you about one of the books that we're featuring today, and then we're going to move on with our recipe.
All right. Well, the book that we're going to talk about today is Peg and Rose Solve a Murder by Laurien Berenson. It's a #1 book in a new series called Senior Sleuths. It's a spin-off series from another one that she had called Melanie Travis Canine Mysteries, and the two people in this that are featured in this had small parts in her other series, so that's cute. Or for fans of her other series, they probably love this one. So this little cozy mystery is about two cantankerous septuagenarians who are complete opposites, and they must come together to stop a killer. So Rose is a former nun, and she teams up with her sister-in-law Peg because she needs a partner for her bridge tournament. So she contacts her, and she figures that who better than someone who would want to win. She kind of is a play-to-win kind of person. Peg isn't really so sure at first because 40 years ago, when Rose's older brother brought Peg home to announce an engagement, Rose was horrible to her, absolutely horrible. So she was kind of wary at first, like not sure she wanted to do it, but then she gave in and decided that it would, that she wanted to do bridge. So they were just gonna kind of try to repair their relationship. So they repairing a relationship may be a little harder than they thought. So soon after an evening of bridge, they find out that one of their club mates has been shot to death in his home. So Peg and Rose are drawn together to solve the murder. And where their personalities clash while they're trying to reconcile, they're actually perfect for solving a crime. So Peg has kind of a direct and assertive personality, where Rose has a milder personality. And in this combination, throughout trying to solve this, they root out surprisingly scandalous behavior from their fellow club members. So they just seem to come to an appreciation for each other's strength throughout the book. And hopefully they'll figure out the truth about the demise of their club mate before it's too late, because the killer's not too happy with them searching out the truth. So this is a really cute and well-written cozy mystery, and it's just kind of a quick read. So
very fun, and I love that it focuses with two main characters that are older.
I love that.
You do not see that very often. Oftentimes it's middle age or much younger as the main characters of books, so this is super fun, I bet.
It is, yeah.
I'm thinking there's probably quite some humor in it too, maybe quite a bit of humor.
Yeah.
So awesome. All right, well, very good. Well, as you can see, that's the one Valerie spoke about. There's the green on the cover. So for our recipe that is inspired by green and all things March and Irish, we are going to make Irish potato candy, which you will see has no potato in it and is really not all that Irish, but it's yummy, so we're moving forward with it. It is a very old-timey recipe. There's writings about it from the late 1800s, and what people think is that the Irish immigrants that came to, especially the Philadelphia area, a lot of them opened candy shops, and that probably they just had some extra ingredients one day for making their other candies, and decided to make the Irish potato candy. All right, so we're going to start. This is super, super easy. For myself, I had absolutely everything that I needed to make it already at home. I did not have to buy anything, and I love that when I don't have to go out looking for anything in particular. All right, so we already have in our bowl softened 4 ounces of cream cheese and a 1/4 cup of unsalted butter. All right, so we're gonna blend that up. It suggests using a hand mixer, which I love because they're much easier to clean. And I've had this laying out on the counter for probably 2 hours, so it's really nice and soft. My goal sometimes is to have a microwave that will soften for me. I don't have that right now, but yeah, that's my goal. So that was super easy to blend up since it was already so soft. Now we're going to beat in the vanilla, which is a teaspoon of vanilla. I loved reading about the history of this. It said that, again, in the 1800s, there was mention of it in the writings, but also that to this day in Philadelphia, it is a huge selling candy in candy stores. They bring it out always the beginning of March, so well before St. Patrick's Day, and it stays on the candy counter shelves until Easter. And one candy shop said very recently that they sell about 500 pieces of it a day. So, and it's known really now as a regional type of recipe. So people in Philadelphia know all about it. People like us from Ohio really had never heard of it before. So, all right, now we're going to gradually mix in the powdered sugar. We've got 4 cups of powdered sugar. So we're just going to put it in bit by bit. And if you're wondering what 4 cups of powdered sugar is, if you buy the big 2-pound bag, that's pretty much it. My family said this smelled so good while I was making it.
It does smell very good. I was thinking the same thing. It does smell very good. It just looks like it would be easy to make too.
Absolutely, yes. Also, if most everyone has a hand mixer, but really if you don't have a hand mixer, you can, you could mix it by hand. It's just gonna take you longer, but you certainly could do it. Or remember the old rotary beaters that everybody's grandma had?
Yeah, I do remember that, because I remember my grandma did have one.
Yes, yes, oh my gosh, yes. I'm sure you cannot find one in a store now, maybe in an antique store or a vintage market or something.
Like that, yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, when I was making this, I found that the mixture is fairly dry. So when we're making it today, I'm not going to put in the full amount of the powdered sugar because you want it to have a little moisture to it so that when you go to roll it in even more sugar, that it will stick. So you want to find that fine line between being too sticky and not sticky enough. I also had to laugh. In the recipe, it says you want the dough, when you're making it and rolling it, to kind of look like a potato, but you wanted the size to be about the size of a baby's fist. And I'm not sure why, but that struck me as very funny. I swear I've never seen that in any other recipe, that you want it to be about the size of a baby's fist. Thought that was pretty funny.
That is funny.
I think we've pretty much maxed out on what we're putting in as far as the powdered sugar right now. So again, did not quite use the whole amount. Okay, so now we're going to fold in the shredded coconut. This is sweetened shredded coconut. If you want to make it less sweet, I will tell you these are an extreme, I know it's candy, but even for a candy, these are extremely sweet when you're done. You may want to do a mix of half sweet coconut, half unsweetened. I think that's what I would prefer, to be honest with you, because with the full sweetened coconut, it is really, really sweet. These also, Valerie and I were talking, could be easily adapted if you're doing keto and you do the fat bombs. These definitely could be adapted for that. You've got your cream cheese, you've got your butter. You could put in unsweetened coconut. You could substitute the powdered sugar with some swerve, which makes a really great keto powdered sugar.
Do you think you'll use all the coconut?
I will see how it mixes in. It is a very kind of firm dough.
Right.
So I'll see how it mixes in. Yesterday I did when I made the test batch, but to be honest, it was just a bit dry for me.
Okay.
Because we want to be sure that it's going to really stick in the.
It looks like one of those doughs you could almost mix with your hands.
Yeah, you really could, for sure.
I like the color. It definitely looks potatoey.
It does look potatoey. I had not thought about that. We could just make one giant potato. What about one giant potato? Here we go.
Potato.
Here we go. Yes. And, you know, I can't ever fold anything in without thinking, do you know what I'm going to say? If you're a fan of Schitt's Creek, you know about folding. Have you ever seen
I
that?
actually have not seen that.
Oh my word. It is a very funny sitcom. Of course, it's rerun all the time, and it's probably on Netflix at this point or something such as that.
Right.
But there's a whole episode where two of the main characters try to bake and make something, and neither one of them know what the term fold means. And the son keeps saying to the mom, but it says fold. And she's like, well, then fold it. Fold it in. He's like, well, what does fold mean? She's like, fold. Fold. And neither one of them have any idea what that actually means.
Might actually have to watch that one.
It's very funny. I'm sure if you look it up on YouTube, you could just even get that snippet of the episode.
Right.
It is super, super, it's a great sitcom. It really is. Okay. All right. So we've got everything here. You want to take it out in about tablespoons to get the amount to roll. I'm going to use my scoop, which is bigger than a tablespoon, but I'm only going to partially fill it. But again, you can make these whatever size you want. Baby fists come in all sizes.
They really do.
You know, tiny to big. Potatoes come in all sizes. Tiny to big.
And I would say that it's almost a baby fist size, honestly.
I would think.
Yeah.
I would think so. So we're going to do that. This is what we're going to put it in. It is half cup light brown sugar and a tablespoon of ground cinnamon. My brown sugar has gotten a little clumpy as it sat out, so I'm just going to stir it around a bit. And you can also make these look more potato-like if you want to take a pine nut or a slivered almond and stick it in to look like eyes.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, isn't that cute?
Yeah, these seem like a very fun candy to
Super
make.
fun, super easy, and like a lot of our recipes, if you have a younger child or even an older child that likes to help you, this would be a very fun thing to do.
That would be perfect for them.
Yes.
I know my kids always love to like roll the things and
Yes.
put it in whatever
Yes.
we're rolling it in. That's just like a huge thing to
Yes, yes, absolutely. And I will tell you, the recipe calls for putting the dough in the fridge for an hour. When I did that, when I was doing my trial batch, it really dried it out.
Okay.
So I would suggest you really don't need to do that. It is not that sticky of a dough. It's sticky enough to roll, to get the powder on the outside, and then you're good to go. All right, so we're gonna scoop some. And I would say if you were making these for a party or such, you know, just be sure you have clean hands or wear gloves. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna put it in our mixture of light brown sugar.
Yeah, it's definitely not a super sticky dough. I can
It's
see what
really
you're
not.
saying.
Yeah.
You could easily just go ahead and roll them up.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so my current one is looking a little ball-like. They suggest you kind of flatten it out to look at a little more potato-ish. And again, if you want to decorate it with a pine nut or a slivered almond, you could make some little eyes there because, you know, most potatoes have eyes if you leave them on your counter for more than a few days.
Right.
So you could do that. So as you can see, you can get quite a few potatoes out of this. And it's a super easy recipe and fun and a great March St. Patrick's Day recipe. It's something probably a lot of people, if you have a party or a gathering that they've not heard of before, and it's fun. Because even though it didn't come from Ireland, it kind of has Irish roots around the Philadelphia area. We would love to have you stop in at the library sometime to check out all of our books, the green ones and all the other multicolored ones also. Thank you, Valerie, for a great review, and we'll see you next time.